Hi, my name's Hudson Alzheimer, and I would like to take a few minutes to talk about Alzheimer's. Alzheimer's is a progressive brain disorder that produces loss of memory as well as confusion. In the U.S. alone, it accounts for over 100,000 deaths annually. Unfortunately, there is no cure. One important statistic regarding Alzheimer's is that only 45% of people who have the disease are actually diagnosed. On the other hand, 90% of people who have cancer are actually diagnosed. The remaining 55% of people suffering from Alzheimer's don't even know they have the disease. This is significant because if somebody doesn't know that they are suffering, they can't receive the proper treatment to help alleviate the symptoms. Because of the disparity of diagnosis, it is crucial for doctors and family members alike to be aware of the symptoms of Alzheimer's disease. Symptoms of Alzheimer's include unusual forgetfulness, trouble recalling particular words, memory beginning to fade, confusion, and the inability to recognize family and friends. Treatment for Alzheimer's, there isn't. No treatment is available to slow or stop Alzheimer's disease. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration has approved drugs that temporarily improve symptoms. There are also anti-inflammatory drugs, which reduce the brain inflammation associated with Alzheimer's. Aside from the biology of Alzheimer's, other studies have shown that gender, race, and ethnicity may also play a role in the formation of the disease. For example, women make up nearly two-thirds of Alzheimer's diagnosis, and they have worse language impairment. Furthermore, there are clear racial differences associated with Alzheimer's. African Americans are 2 times more likely to be diagnosed than whites, and Hispanics are 1.5 more likely than whites to be diagnosed. Lastly, there are ethnic differences as well. Nigerian residents are less likely to develop Alzheimer's than poor African Americans living in the U.S. There are many risk factors associated with Alzheimer's. One factor is the older you get, increases the chance for you to develop Alzheimer's. Another factor would be family history. Individuals who have a parent, brother, or sister with Alzheimer's are more likely to develop the disease. Lastly, a cardiovascular risk factor. If the heart fails to pump blood and nutrients to the brain will be now malnourished, which may lead to Alzheimer's. There are experimental treatments inhibiting the process that both produces and clears amyloid from the brain. Researchers have also found a rare gene mutation that keeps plaque from forming in the brain. Through continued research, they hope to find or create a drug that mimics the rare gene mutation. Aside from research, there are simple changes that we can make to help prevent Alzheimer's. For instance, an active social life. A number of studies indicate that maintaining strong social connections and keeping mentally active as we age might lower the risk of cognitive decline and Alzheimer's. Another example is quality sleep. Shorter sleep duration and poor sleep quality are associated with greater amyloid buildup. Furthermore, regular exercise. Physical activity is a valuable part of any body wellness plan and is associated with the lower risk of cognitive decline. Continuing, having a healthy diet. Eat foods that are low in saturated fat, total fat, and cholesterol. Choose a diet that is high in fruits, vegetables, and low-fat dairy. Consume whole grains, poultry, fish, and nuts. Decrease your intake of fats, red meats, sweets, sugar beverages, and sodium. These diets can help reduce heart disease and may also be able to reduce risk of dementia. Furthermore, stress management. Visualization and meditation help alleviate the symptoms of stress. Mental stimulation. Research has found that keeping the brain active seems to increase its vitality and may even generate new brain cells. Not only does the person diagnosed with Alzheimer's suffer, but the family as well. You're about to see a brief interview regarding a family's emotional roller coaster involving their loved one while she suffered with Alzheimer's.
We're sitting here today talking about my mother, Jean Roseborough Lumpkin. I'm Jim, my sister Mickey, and Tanya. It's been said we're a tight-knit family, and we are. Mother was 80 years old or so when she passed away with Alzheimer's, and it changed all of our lives dramatically. The interaction that you take for granted between parents, kids, couldn't do it. But the relationship was still very real, very meaningful. We still had family gatherings.
Mother had Alzheimer, the best we can tell, 12 to 15 years before she passed away. And though we noticed signs of it, we didn't talk about it very much. I think maybe it was the inevitable because her mother, Ode, had Alzheimer as well and had passed away with Alzheimer. So it was, I think the hardest thing was the admitting that that's probably what the disease was.
The Alzheimer's affected the relationship between mom and dad. Impatient on his part, which made us kind of be on edge a lot of the time. He didn't mean anything by it, but it had an effect on us, I think.
He didn't accept it.
No, he had
It's
a hard
hard to
time
accept.
accepting it. And we were a little defensive of her, of course, but we weren't living with it 24/7 like he was.
True.
Right. And I think it was very rough to me when she really didn't know who we were, you know. And she would hide things and almost feel bad about it. And, you know, you never really knew where she was at. It was really, it was rough.
When you'd see those moments of recognition and then it was gone in a second.
It was just that look in her eye, just that gaze.
It was
sad.
It was tough.
In spite of everything, Alzheimer's and its effect on mother pulled us all together. We're probably much more protective of each other now.